Hey guys and dolls, today's video is going to be more geared toward the dolls than the guys, but I have had several people ask me about, makeup tutorials and all that kind of stuff, so I'm going to start doing a series of makeup tutorials. These videos are going to be geared mainly towards women over 40 because I will be 45 in January, so I qualify in the over 40 range. There's really not a lot of videos out there, in my opinion, that are good videos about skincare and makeup and things like that for people over 40, so I'm going to throw my hat in the ring, as it were, and even though these tips and stuff are going to be, geared towards the more mature skin, anybody, that does makeup, these are going to apply too because, I'll give tips and tricks and stuff like that. So, just to begin, I have my bare naked face. This is, my morning routine thing. And if I've done a nighttime one, and so there's, it's pretty much the same in the morning as at the night, but the products are a little different. I'll do a skincare one at another time, but I wanted to show y'all a couple of products that are my favorites, and so I thought, what better time than now, because I'd run out of them, so I thought I'd go ahead and get them. So I will show y'all what I do now. Right now, my setup for putting on makeup is not optimal. I have one bathroom in my apartment that I share with my son, and of course in the morning he has the bathroom pretty much, and so I'm literally sitting here on the edge of my bed, and then I have my lamp on and I open up my window, and sometimes it's dark outside in the morning and sometimes the sun is out, and today we kind of have a rainy day, so I don't have as much light as normal, but I go ahead and I pull my hair back with just one of these little guys. It's actually a hot roller clip, so I multitask on that. Now, I use several different foundations depending on my skin, and over 40 especially, I think you're going to find as your hormones change, you're going to have everything from dry skin one day to super oily, oil slick the next day. So you really, I think it's a good idea to have several different kind of products. And not everything that I suggest is going to work for you, but I will give you the good and the bad of why, I think something is good or bad. And right now, I'm out of one of my most preferred foundations, but right now I'm using the L'Oreal Visible Lift liquid foundation. This is in, I don't know what color, there it is, it's in Creamy Natural. This is for my skin. I have super, super fair, super light skin, so unless you fall in that same category, that may not be you. But here's one thing I do want to say about liquid foundations, okay? You always need to shake them, okay? La, 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 la. Always need to shake them. Now, back up. This packaging may be a little bit different than what it is now because, of course, I rarely buy things at full price, except the two that I'm going to show you today because they're my favorites. But this was on clearance, so this may look different. But it's, like I said, it's the L'Oreal Visible Lift. So what you're going to do is, with a liquid foundation, with actually any foundation, exception is under eye, do not get your nasty grubby fingers and touch it to the lid and put foundation here and then start putting foundation on your face with your fingers. That's disgusting. I don't care how clean your hands are, that is disgusting. So what you're going to want to do is get yourself some makeup sponges. Now this is a flat disc. They also have them in wedges. I prefer the wedges. I have the discs because they were on clearance. And so I bought some to see if I would like them. And in fact, I do not. I prefer the wedges. But these work just the same. It's a spongy material. They can be, hand washed in the sink a couple of times. It will stain because of your foundation color, but you can wash them. So treat the makeup sponge just like your makeup brushes, and they need to be washed once a week at least, or just replace them because they are replaceable. So all that I do is, and I'm going to do this with and without mirror, so this will be interesting, but I get an amount on the sponge and then I tap it on the cheeks, I kind of go ahead and get it on my face to begin with. This is funny because I've never done a makeup tutorial, so I feel really odd right now with little dots of foundation all over my face. A little bit on your chin, a little bit on your nose. Okay, and so now I've got to get my mirror. And so never, okay, just watch and I'll go as I go. Okay, so start at the forehead, in the center, up, always, always, always up. And you're going to kind of do it like a flower up in the center. And then see how I'm radiating out from the center part? Okay, so once that's done, cheeks, you're going to go up, away from the nose, down towards the jawline. Up, away from the nose, down towards the jawline. Okay, and then on the chin, it's kind of the opposite of on the forehead. Okay. And then on the nose, from the bridge down, and then wiping on each side. And then notice how I'm kind of patting now. That's to get all those crevices around your nose, around your lips, etc., etc., etc. Okay. And then once I've done that, I go back and I check to see what I need to do. And then you just kind of keep, you know, you look, where is it not blended? And that's about all the foundation that you need generally, unless you've got really bad, you know, acne scarring or discoloration or whatever. You don't need globs and globs. Women, I think, they don't like makeup because they put too much on. Now you can kind of see maybe on my jawline how this is a little darker. That's why I don't really like this foundation too much. It's okay, you know, it's one of those, it's okay, it fits the need right now. Like I said, I'm out of my other that I normally use, which I believe, if I can remember right, it's called, I want to say it's by Revlon, and I want to say it's called New Complexion. It's a cream compact. But we'll talk about that later. Now, one of my pet peeves, okay, is around the nose. Okay, a lot of times around the nostrils, women don't get their cosmetics there, and that's when these come in good, and you just kind of dab, 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 alright, in those areas. Now, let me see. I'm going to aim myself towards my light a little bit here. Now, a lot of this coloring will even out in a minute, and I'll show you why, okay, but that was... You know, you start with clean skin, number one. Number two, you put your foundation on. Without using your fingers, you use an applicator. And then this right here is one of my favorite concealers for the older skin. Now, I used other stuff, like, for example, I have CoverGirl True Concealer. Don't like it under the eyes. Don't like it at all. I don't know if they have oil in it or what. Don't like it, don't get it. True Conceal, CoverGirl, don't use it. Blech, not good. What I do like is, and I wanted to leave it in the packaging to show y'all what it looks like, is Physicians Formula. Okay, it's a double-ended concealer, and this one is called Concealer Twins 2-in-1. And this in particular has yellow at one end and light cover at the other end. And the Physicians Formula, it's just, I don't know if it's, obviously it's the formulation, but it's hypoallergenic, fragrance-free, oil-free, gluten-free, non-comedogenic, and dermatologist recommended. Now, if you don't know what some of those things mean, non-comedogenic means does not clog the pores, okay, so that's a good thing. And then hypoallergenic means no allergies. I'm trying to get this out of the package here. Pardon the noise, but I wanted to show y'all what it looked like in the package so where you could get the packaging. But here it is. Here's the stuff. And so I don't always use the yellow. I'm not going to use it today. I'm just going to use the other end. But I will show y'all. Now this is where the applicator, you know, it's obviously like this, so you're going to have to touch your skin because you can't tip that out because it has a little non-tippy, non-spilly thing. But here we go. Can y'all see? I just dot, dot, dot. Do not drag it across your eyes, okay? Just dot, 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 about like that. Do it on the other side. Now, y'all may be wondering, well, why should I listen to you about makeup, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I was a teenager and in my early 20s, I was in the modeling industry, and so I have a lot of insider tips and things like that. So, now here's my trick that I do. I kind of let that dry just a little bit. Get some of the, and you can feel it. You can feel the coolness, you know, from the water kind of evaporating. So you just kind of do that a little bit, and then always on your eyes, use your ring fingers, okay? Don't use these fingers. Don't use, you can use your pinky, but I pretty much just use these fingers, okay? The reason for that is because you have less muscles and less strength, I guess, in these fingers, and so you're less likely to drag. And that's another thing, you don't want to drag on that skin, okay? So hopefully y'all can see this. Just tap, tap, tap. Look up. You don't have to see. I'm not even looking. Okay, look up. You can feel and just be gentle. You don't have to jab your eyeballs out, but you want to get it right up to that under bottom lash line, all the way over to the bridge of the nose, but not up on the nose, but right where that the bone. You can feel it, your eye socket bone, and then back over and kind of see how I'm kind of going up away from the eye a little bit. Okay, see? We're going to even all that out in a minute, but, and again, I don't know if y'all can see this very good because of the lighting. And then do the same thing on the other side. Always look up, and then, like I said, you can feel it. Now, some mornings when I have allergies or whatever and my eyes are kind of watery, the inside corners, you know, that's when they get a little bit watery. And that's what Q-tips are good for. I always used cotton-tipped cotton swabs. I use Q-tip brand, but there are other brands out there. Okay, now see? And you'll see the difference. And so, dark circles pretty much are gone. Now, what I do at this point is you always want to do a powder to set everything. Okay, and a lot of women, either they don't use foundation, they don't use powder or whatever. And if you don't want to use foundation and you just want to use a powder, I'll tell you the best thing that I found, and I've used this for years. I use this as a foundation by itself at times. I use it as a setting powder with the brush. It's just a really good product all the way around, but this is called Simply Powder by CoverGirl. Okay, Simply Powder by CoverGirl. These run, I think, about $5 to $7 in your drugstore. It comes, and yes, I've used it. It comes, you know, just in a compact like this. It comes with a little sponge. This you would apply the same as you would apply liquid foundation. Don't use your fingers, okay? And then if you're using it as a setting powder, you'll want to get a powder brush and just, you know, swirl it around in there and then put it on like that. So, if you don't like a liquid foundation at all, you can use this. Now, one thing about this is that it is powder and it's not very creamy, so you may, if your skin is dry that day, it may be a little bit too dry. Sometimes when I use this, I get dry areas right around, like on the cheekbone areas and around here. So, you know, think about that. But what I am going to use today is, again, Physicians Formula, and pardon the nasty on the top because as you can see I'm almost out of it, but this is Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Loose Powder in Creamy Natural. That was a mouthful. Okay, now here's the deal. Love the powder, hate the packaging. The packaging is gimmicky. I understand the big deal with all the Mineral Wear makeup is all the loose stuff and you know, swirl and tap and all that. And that's great, but sometimes it's just gimmicky. Let me show you. Okay, they have it here. This had a, you know, a brush in it that I've taken out, and then you have to open this up, and then you've got this in here, and it's like, well, where am I supposed to put this because the lid is domed? I don't even know if you're supposed to use it for that, but that's what I've been using it for. So anyway, it is tinted, and it does call itself a, you know, loose mineral powder, but again, you can use it for a very, very light overall skin evening thing like a foundation. You just kind of have to play with stuff. I used to use, and I know this is terrible, people are going to have a heart attack, but again, this is a modeling trick. I used baby powder as my finishing powder because it's, you know, translucent. It doesn't have any pigment to it. But it is talc, and so people get freaked out about talc. I don't know why. If you know why, let me know. Okay, so I've just put some, you know, put the powder on there. I do it on my cheekies, do it on my chin, get it around the nose real good. I'm getting it all over my shirt. All the perils of being a woman and putting on makeup, right? But, I'm sorry, I'm just swirling it around in there, you know, to get the brush loaded up real good. I feel like I'm in painting class again. And then, again, up and away, up and away, up and away on the forehead, okay? Now, you'll notice I did not focus a lot on the eye area. That's like the last place that I go because you really don't want a lot there. Now, do you remember when I was talking about the color here was a little off? Well, that's where the magic of a colored powder helps. Whoa! As I throw my brush on the ground. You can really just rub that colored powder in on the neck area and it really blends in a lot. Okay. And then just at the very end, with what's left on the brush, you just kind of lightly do. Okay? So that is the foundation one. And stay tuned, I'm going to have more for the blusher, for eyeshadow, mascara, and all that. So until then, have a delicious, delightful, delirious day. And I will see you tomorrow.